Alrighty, welcome back. Alright, we're going to get started for this other half here. Alright, so we haven't caught anything on that side here. So we're going to turn around and we're going to just spin around and try. This is a good location right here. You want to be casting your reel, casting this lure about right in here, right along this edge line. Okay? Alright, so we'll get it about right here. Same thing applies. Full cast. Get that bad boy on out here. When it hits, give it a second. We're still at a 27. Okay? And so just because they don't bite one particular lure this particular day doesn't mean that the lure is no good. I'm telling you, they normally tear this thing up. But it's raining. That has a lot to do with maybe the visibility. Now, if you're fishing over here, if you want that line to come a little bit towards the left, just move your rod over here a little bit to the left. Now, as you can see where the tip of my rod is at, if you hold it up too high, the lure is going to be pretty much towards the water. Then the lure is going to be pretty much dragging the bottom of the bed of the pond or the lake. I normally hold it about right here. Keep that lure about middle ways of when you're fishing, because right here where we're fishing at, it's only about maybe 3 feet of water, maybe. Okay. All right. I really want this thing to hit on this lure for you. But if it don't, it don't. If it does, it does. But anyhow, we're having a good time fishing. All right. Give it a second. Now reel that bad boy in. And the reason you don't want to, there we go. The reason you don't want to reel it in when it hits, because you may jerk it out of the mouth of the fish. Now sometimes when you cast, you may throw that thing right into the mouth of that fish. I had that happen the other day. It happened twice, right back to back. I was like, let's see if I can do it for the third time. Guys, this area that I'm fishing at is a good location to catch some perch and some pike. This is a good place to catch some fish. Now, up at the top right, just below the time, you see that little dark box. That is where your quest normally displays what we got showing. Okay? On your quest, you got four different values. You have a daily quest, an income quest, an experience quest, and then you have a consumable quest. Okay? So we've done caught a few of these pikes. Okay? Alright, so there's another 2-pound pike. Okay, so let's check our phone here by hitting the letter Q. We're going to go to quest. Okay, so I don't see anything that's going to apply what we're doing today, so that's no big deal. Okay, alright, so what we're going to do here is that we're going to make one more cast. I always come down here, at least catch one fish in this location. Sometimes you may catch a little bit more. Okay, sometimes I find in this area right here, if you can throw that lure within that area right here, you're going to pretty much get something about every time you cast. Okay, which is about right where we want to be. Okay. I find that guys really relaxing if you got a stressful day. Even if you don't have 2 monitors, you can put it on YouTube, get you some music started, whatever that you like listening to, and then have that play in the background, and then with the noise of the rain, the crickets and the frogs and all that kind of good stuff, it's just very relaxed. That's what fishing to me is about, guys. Whether it's sitting in a real boat on a real lake or a real pier, getting your fingers all sticky with the minnows or the squid or the shrimp or whatever. Or you could be sitting here in the comforts of your own home drinking your tea and eating a sandwich. And just let life just unstress itself. That's what life is about, folks. Life is just too stressful this day and time with all this Mickey Mouse mess going on in the world. Now here I'm about almost a level 22. So the more you fish, the more you own up in your level. Now if you look over there on the right, you see that person. That person is catching a lot of fish. Okay, so they've pretty much kind of stopped biting this location here. So let's just go somewhere else. Okay, I'm going to show you another good spot to fish. Okay, we're going to go all the way up here on the other side of the lake. Okay, we're going to spawn. Okay, we'll come all the way up here. Okay, now this is another one of my locations that I love coming here, catching these perch and these pikes. Come all the way down here to about right here. Now you don't want to go past that, because mainly what I find is that these fish sometimes they'll bite about right here as well. Now I hate that it's cloudy, we can't really see it, but when we cast, we're going to cast right out here. Now you're going to catch fish on this side of the bank, and there's a big old marsh bed, you're going to catch fish right over there. Alright, so let's get a reel back out here and let's try this thing again. We're going to use the same thing. We're still at a 27. Okay, let's see what we can do. We've already caught one fish on this. Now that was a good cast. That was about a 46 meter. Okay, I catch more pike in this area than what I do perch, but you can still catch some pretty good sized perch in here. Now this particular location here on the opposite end right behind me, I've caught about 3 different trophy fish that is in this area. So this is a good area right here. In real life this would be a good spot to fish, because all these fish, they come down this little ravine right here and they're feeding on all these little young fish that are hanging out in the brush. See, as you can see, my line was getting a little bit closer to the bank, so I'm just moving it over just a little bit. Kind of skimming it along that coastline. Fish like to hang out, especially smaller fish, they like to hang out under cover. Like under trees that have fallen in the water, logs that are in the water, maybe old tires that somebody has thrown into the water. Or maybe undergrowth like lily pads. You know, those fish love to hang out there because it's a refuge for them. You can imagine being a fish, and then you got all these big predator fish that are always looking for something. A lot of these smaller fish enjoy hanging out at these locations. Okay, so we're going to try it one more time here, and then I'm going to switch over. Okay, so now we're going to cast about. Now we want to cast about right in here. Okay, I said this is another location. If you look up at the very top of my screen, on the top left, you'll see a number 114-141. Write that number down, and I'll show you. Because you can find these locations that people are fishing at. And then you can come right back here on your map and hit the same spot. Alright, now that it's cleared up. Now the line was coming back directly towards me right down the middle, but I want to kind of keep it on that shore as much as possible. Because a lot of times these, and like I said, this goes back to the developers of this thing. A lot of these fish, it depends on the temperature. During the daylight hours, like midday, the edges of the water is too hot, so they'll kind of get a little bit more out in the middle because it's a little bit cooler. Fish are cold-natured animals, okay? Or they may get closer to the bank to get a little bit warmer, and then during the day they'll get a little bit deeper where the water is not so hot. And a lot of these fish, they'll swim at certain depths of the water to maintain that body temperature. Okay, don't like nothing's going to bite right there. We're going to try it one more spot. Now we're going to do another U-turn here. Now what we want to do, we want to throw just as close as we can to these little concrete tubings that are here. Okay, we're going to try it about right here. Now this side of the thing, I normally catch more perch than when I do pike. That was a good spot right there. I mean, a good spot. We're still on 27. Now you can go up or you can go down with your speed on your reeling speed on this lure. You can, but I find this. See, fish are breaking. I find that 27 is that sweet spot where I get more bites. Now you can get a bite on a 25 or maybe a 28, but I just find for me the sweet spot for me on this lure is a 27. Let's get our tip of the thing down here. Normally about right where my tip is showing on those marshes is normally where I'll get a hit, is where those fish like to hang out at. Now I understand that I'm talking like this is real life. These are digital fish that's been programmed to be in a certain area. I know that, but like I said, the developers have mimicked these fish patterns in a certain way, and they've done a pretty good job, I have to admit. If we don't get another bite, then we're going to make one more switch, and then we're going to call it a day. But I was hoping to get a bite right here. I don't want these fish to be telling me a story. This is good stuff, guys. I basically wanted to show you 3 lures of today that's going to be relative inexpensive to afford. Okay. All right. Let's change up. They're not doing a whole lot. All right. Let's move this all the way down. Now these are what is referred to as spoons. Okay. These down here is what is referred to as blades. But we're going to be fishing with these spoons. Okay. So we got a silver and a gold and a silver and a red. So let's go. I always have good luck with this one down here. Okay, just Adam JS18G, which is a .63 ounce. Let's try that. Okay, so that's going to be a little bit too heavy. A little bit too heavy for my setup. So we're going to change that. All right, count. So let's switch poles. Now this pole here that we're fishing with, it's a Katana Spin 12. It's a 26 pound. We got a 26 pound open face reel. We're using 26 pound test line. We're using a 25 pound leader, and then we're going to be using this this same jig, but it's going to similar jig, but it's going to be a .88. Okay. All right. So we're going to switch out here. Well. All right. Change up here. Alright, there we go. Thing wants to be aggravating. Alright, same thing here. We want to throw in the same spot, which is up here. Alright, now this jig, I find that it works best from a 30 all the way up to a 40. Now normally what I'll do, I'll try it on a 30, then I'll bump it up to a 35, and then I'll bump it up to a 40, depending. You need to know this stuff and write this stuff down. Okay? Alright, so we're going to throw that thing about right there. Let's see what we got here. Now this is a good jig as well. All right, that threw it right there on that corner. Okay. So we got it a 30. Now they seem to like this as well. They seem to like the solid gold one better. I find I get more hits on that than what I do. Same thing, I'm just reeling it. I'm on a 30. There we go. So I'm reeling it, bumping it, reeling it, bump, bump, reeling it, bump, reeling it, bump, bump, bump. Just change up your bumps. Get into the zone. Become one with the fish. Okay, good stuff. Like I said, your technique may be good, they just may not be biting a certain rig. Fish are kind of finicky that way. I think if I was a fish, I'd get tired of eating worms every day. Like, man, throw me a cricket. I'll eat a cricket or a frog. This is going to weigh its pulling. This is going to probably be about a 3 or 4 pound pike the way it's pulling. You see it down at the bottom. My reel is the weakest link in this setup, because I'm maxing that out a little bit more in the red compared to my rod and my leader. Nice little pikey. Come on, get up in there. 4 pound pike, not bad at all. Not too shabby. Alright, let this thing stop from shaking out. Let's try it over here, because I'll get a bunch of bites over here. And we're gonna pull this thing right down that shoreline, right through that marshy grass. Good spot right there. Alright, same thing here. This is good stuff to me, guys. There we go. Boy, I tell you. It's not easy being cheesy. Guys, don't let these lures freak you out if you're not used to fishing. Now, I love fishing with the now we see we're maxing out. Let's drop this thing down a little bit to 15, because we don't want to snap that reel. I mean, we don't want to snap that line and lose our fish and the lure. But guys, don't let this stuff spook you. Don't be afraid of fishing with these lures. If you just nothing but learn these 3 that I've showed you today, you can make quite a bit of money off those, and then venture out. Then venture out to these other lures. Don't try to worry about mastering them all. Just be good at a few. How about that? 3 pound pike. Not too shabby for a good day's work. All right. Well, I think I've done a pretty good job here. Caught quite a few fish here. Let's see what we got on the quest. Okay. All right. So we've got, right quick before we close this thing out, we've got a couple of quests here that we can do. All right. So we could do a quest for 38 pounds of pike. Okay. Which is only given night crawlers, or we can do a quest of 7 pieces of pike. Let's do the 7 pieces. Okay. So now that we have a new quest on hand, so we see now we've already caught like 3 fish, which is quite a difference from catching 7. But earlier, before I came on with you guys, I've already been out fishing and caught some pike, and I've been saving them. So what we're going to do, we're going to hit the C button, and then we're going to come down here, all these fish that we have in our basket. And then what we're going to do, guys, we're going to turn around and use the fish that we've already caught towards this thing. Okay, so I'm going to get the lowest fish first. Okay, get all these 2 pound fishes out of the way, because if we have to, come on, if we have to, we can save these other big fish if we want to take that other challenge later. Okay, let's see what we got here. We need three more. Okay, So we're going to come back up here. I'm going to get ready to call it a day. My time is running short. Okay? Okay? How about that? Now we just got right there, we just got 150 credits. Okay? Not too shabby. Folks, give me a thumbs up if you like this stuff, and I apologize for the sound quality. I'm working on that, but it's a work in progress, and so just bear with me. I hope something that I've said or something that I've done and something I've showed you, something you could put a little feather in your hat, and that's my ideal goal that I want to see you have. All right, well, come on back and join us for the next round here. My name is JB, and we look forward to seeing you guys next time. Adios.